Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. We're going to look at the IBB and the USO today on the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. Let's get into the IBB on the daily. So right now we're above all the moving averages. It broke out above the 200 on the daily time frame, went right almost to the 300 area, stopped in its tracks. Now it's setting up the bullish consolidation, getting ready to pop higher. If this bullish consolidation fails and we somehow get back to the 200 or the 20 MA, we'll probably fast track down. We'll probably come into this area here right around 270, and I'm thinking 263, and then we're going to start filling gaps down in this area. If we possibly move up, I want to see more volume before we start moving up, and I want to see a nice bull flag before it starts to pop. But you're probably looking at gap window, gap fill. You have another gap fill up in that area, and then ultimately right around 340, but I highly doubt we're getting there. If the SPY breaks down, this thing's breaking down with it. So everything's kind of a market trade right now. The SPY's trying to grind up on no volume, and a lot of stocks are going up and down doing whatever they want to do. Let's go to the weekly. This will tell us a little bit more about the IBB. So we went to the 50 MA. They're trying to capture that and confirm, but then we have the 618 right above that, which is not good. That's a big resistance area, 304, 305, and ultimately, like I was talking about, 340. You have gap window up in here with a breakdown bar. But look at this. I mean, we had this great bearish pattern. We shorted this thing. Boom, came right back in. Now we have another bearish panel or pattern in a channel. They're trying to get it above there and get everyone bullish. Notice how they're upgrading everything. The analysts are coming out. Oh, IBB's breaking up, this and that. Come on, people. Went from 240 to 300. Time to pull back. So again, just like any other chart we look at, we're looking for confirmation over the 50 MA, but then we have big resistance up here, and as well as the 300 even number too. So we're going to look at the close on Friday to decipher which way this thing's going to go. We are short the IBB at this point. Looking at the monthly, great inside bar pattern, closed below this, bearish. Now we're setting up going into the 20 MA. This thing continues up into this area. That's a dead-on short if you're not short already. If you're down here short, time to add more up in this area. You can use the 340 or 331 area for the stop out. But again, great pattern. Look at this one. Down, sideways, down, and look at this is even more consolidation. When this thing breaks down, it's going right to 250. I think we're going to 207 real quick, and that's the monthly. So mark that in your calendars, 207.06. We're going there, and possibly even number of 200. Let's get into the USO. Kind of funny. RBC came out this week. Oh, it's bullish. This thing's going up. It's the best thing ever. Why weren't they bullish down in this area? You know, let's go to the weekly first. So the weekly had great support in this area. You have the 618 and you have this pivot. I would have loved to have seen it go a little bit lower, but it didn't. But I'm thinking this was a nice little retrace. Had a somewhat of a little tail candle here, but we're back into the 50 retrace. Let's see if we can stay above that on the weekly close. This is the weekly chart. Again, we've talked about if this thing starts to move up, you're going to fill this gap. You're going to get to the 20 MA. You want to short it anywhere up in this area. If you're short already, keep your stop in there, but expect you might get a little more upside. Let's see if we fill this gap and how it reacts, and then we'll take it from there. And of course, each point of resistance, we're going to see how this thing sets up and moves along. Let's go back to the daily now. We had a nice reversal candle closed above. We had a nice follow-through day, but then we had a little bit of a pause day with a little candle. And then today we gapped up almost into the 20 MA. I would have loved to seen this thing get filled, but we didn't. So you know, you got to watch this one really, really close because this thing can definitely reverse and start heading down. Let's see if we do start reversing. We need to close below this green candle, fill this gap, and then we possibly will go lower. Let's go back to, sorry I'm jumping around a little bit, but there's a lot on these charts that I have to show. We shorted it here. We covered, unfortunately, there. Came back down. It was just an oversold condition. A little bit more volume came in. We bounced up. Let's see if we set up sideways to possibly set up for more downside. Monthly chart. This is telling the big picture as well. Down, sideways. Great bearish pattern. Now we have an inside bar. So I'm thinking if this starts to consolidate, we might pop up a little bit. And when the market starts selling, this one's going lower. I still have penciled in 646 on the charts. You might laugh at me on that one, but that's what I have in. And of course, you got to get the double bottom 767 first, but 646, mark that one down in your books. All right, so that's the USO, that's the IBB. I think that's it for today. Thanks everybody for watching. Again, it's John at stockbookie.com. God bless. See you on the charts.